coaches come and they coach about perfectionism, because in entrepreneurship, perfectionism, of course, can stay in your way. Like, if you're trying to make everything look perfect, if you're trying to create your website, your logo, your branding, your content, and make it all look picture perfect before you put anything out, of course that's going to stall your growth, because we know with entrepreneurship and marketing itself, you cannot have everything perfect without getting feedback. But what I want to talk about today, because I've talked about that before, I want to talk about the idea of permanency, because that is another block, which a lot of, you can probably hear fireworks in the back, but a lot of entrepreneurs, they have this perfectionist goal because they have this idea of permanency that is just like radiating through their mind. They're thinking like, this post has to be right, this live has to be right, this marketing strategy has to be right, this product has to be right. It's like a matter of right or wrong. And I just wanted to remind you guys today, none of this stuff is permanent. Instagram ain't permanent. So even if you have an Instagram account today, we all have them because we're all here. Instagram could go away tomorrow. This is not permanent. And once you put something on Instagram, you actually no longer own it completely. Instagram does. So the idea of this permanency, and that things are just so set in stone, that there's right and wrong, that there's now or later, like, we have to get over that. So different things that I wanted to talk about today, as far as what people get stuck on with things that are permanent, like other than posts, other than your lives. And if you're still scared to go live, just know that live videos, you can put them up, you can keep them, you can delete them. There's no reason not to be practicing going live and creating video content, because it's probably the easiest way, especially when you're just getting started, to practice something and take it away and be like, I don't like that. Let me try that again. And you can practice in your free time, like just taking videos of yourself. But that is neither here nor there. So with permanency, there are times when entrepreneurs, especially small business owners who are women, they get to a point in their business where they want to grow and they want to shift gears. So this is called pivoting. So a lot of times I'll be talking to people, they'll have this idea, they'll be working with it, or they're talking to me because they've gotten to a point where they want to pivot and they're like, I don't know how to do this. And the key to doing it is doing it. You're never going to be ready to do it. So the key to pivoting, the key to changing your brand, to changing your messaging, changing your products, is to just do it. The people who are with you, who like the change, they'll stay with you. The people that don't will leave. And you want people to leave if they don't like the change, because they are not your people. You will just get new people who like this new version of you. So for example, I'm going to use myself as all these examples, because how can I speak to anything if I haven't gone through it myself? So first example, my first business, I was a Disneyland concierge. And if you've downloaded or watched the masterclass, yes, free masterclass, link in my bio, forgot to say that. If you've already watched that, you've heard this story, I kind of touched on it. But my first business, I was a Disneyland concierge. I was telling people how to get around the park, creating like itineraries for them, like doing the most, getting people around the park. It was cool because I love Disneyland, but it was not fulfilling in a way that I would need my business to be fulfilling. So me talking to you guys about business, me telling you guys how to make your businesses better, being aware of things that are probably keeping you held up, that is my way of being like, hey y'all, this actually matters, and this can actually make a difference in your life. Disneyland doesn't, like, you'll have a good day, but it's not going to be like life-changing for you. But Disneyland and me doing that business, then switching over to this, it's not like I went into that business thinking I was going to create artwork. It's because of the pains and the problems that I was experiencing with my business that I said, okay, these are things that I've experienced. These are things I know other people experience. Let me package up how I solve these problems and give them to people. That is great problem solving. That is what entrepreneurship is. Creating problems and problem solving out of pain. So keep that in mind. If you are stuck on one idea or stuck saying like, this is right, this is wrong, I have to stick with this business till the wheels fall off, like that's an idea of permanency. That's not thinking above. That's not thinking of big vision. That's just keeping yourself in a box for no apparent reason. So another way that I did this to myself, I was just talking to my coach with the masterclass that is actually up, the Instagram engagement booster masterclass. When I was creating it, I waited until the very last minute. So I released it on the 1st. I waited until the last day of June to go get the microphone to record it, to write the script, to actually like record it, to edit it, to upload it. I waited until like I didn't finish until it was like 2 a.m. Did that because I put myself in a box saying I want to do a masterclass because everyone does masterclasses. I love masterclasses. Did it. Talked to my coach the next day, told her, hey, I hated this. She said, I didn't tell you to do it. You're the one who was so pressed to do a masterclass. Why don't you do live? You love going live. I was like, you're right. Making things hard for myself. So do not try to do something just because I'll say this 2 ways. Don't do something because it's something you like to consume. So I love to consume content, to learn, to watch people's webinars, to watch masterclasses. I do not like to make them. Second thing, just because you like to do something doesn't mean that you need to monetize it. So I like to cook. I like to go to Disneyland. My first business, all about Disneyland. Doesn't mean that I need to sell Disneyland. I need to sell how I was selling Disneyland. I need to sell how people can do more of what it is that I'm doing. I need to sell people the transformation of what I did so I could get here. You see how there's difference because I wasn't stuck in permanency. So next thing, don't be afraid to change your prices. So prices are going to vary depending on what it is. So with my Disneyland business, and this like is still beyond me, I would literally sit for a day. If I had an order come in for like a personalized itinerary, I would sit for a whole day and figure out where people need to go. I would make like general itineraries of like the top of their day to the bottom, like a full day at Disneyland, and I would sell them for $7. To me, that doesn't make sense now. But because I was coming on Instagram as a new person in business of like trying to undercut so I could make sales and make things super cheap, me doing that just made me more discouraged because I was like, I cannot sell more than this because I do not think that this is worth it. I don't think that my knowledge of Disneyland is that much more worth it to someone else. Let me tell you, your knowledge of what you can do. I see my boo Makeup by Tam Tam is on here. I do not know how to body paint. I learned how to do my face based on YouTube. If there weren't people like her in the world, I would be on Instagram like looking crazy, looking a hot mess. So because you know how to do something and you think of it like, oh well, like yeah, sure, I know how to do it, but when you do that, it downplays what it is that you actually do. And that's another stage of permanence. That's you being like, well, I can't charge more for this because it's not worth that much more. So a way to flip this, say for instance with my itineraries, I was selling them for $7. Honestly, I should have been selling them for like $127. Instead of me positioning it like I cannot sell more than this, I can position my mind to think of it differently, to be like, okay, if I'm selling it at $127, how can I work backwards to make this a $127 experience? So you get how that feels different. So if you think your price should be higher, and in all honesty, most of our prices should be higher, take the experience or take the price. So work from the price backwards. Don't work from the product backwards. Use the price that you want. Create a product that meets that price. So bring it up rather than bringing it down. So next thing with permanence. Sometimes, and this goes with branding. So I talked about products, I talked about pricing. This goes with your branding and your style. I was talking to another one of my clients, Amanda. I haven't seen her pop in here, but I think she is at work. So Amanda, she was talking to me about her brand, how she wanted to use more colors, how she wanted things to be brighter. And I was like, okay, well, like I said at the top of this, whenever you want to pivot, just do it. So she was like, but I want to like try things out first. And I was telling her how these graphics that she was starting to create were like amazing. I was like, yes, you need to do more of this. Whatever you did here, you give me more of that, because bomb. So she is in this pivot point. But I was showing her pictures. Like I said, I'm gonna use myself as all the examples. I was showing her pictures of my Instagram for Artwork Creative when I first started it. It's very different than it was like back then. I wasn't doing videos. I was showing my face, but not as much. It was very black and white with pops of color. And if you look at my account now, it's just color. It's like, hey, bright, bright, bright. And I was like, I need to bring this color into my brand, because I am naturally a colorful person. Like, y'all always know my background is red. My whole room is red. But me not being able to translate myself onto my style was holding me up, because I was thinking, I need to make this thing be permanent. This is my permanent brand. This is how I'm going to be showing up, when that is not the case. You gotta let that go. Your brand colors are your brand colors because you chose them. Like, you can pick different ones. You can change your logo. I switched all around. I do that from time to time. You can change your logo, you can change your brand voice, but what I will tell you, when you are creating a brand after, hey girl, when you're creating a brand that is after your own desires, after your own vision, after your own mission, and it's very personalized to you, those pillars of what your brand stands for will not change, even if you change products. So coming from my first Disney business and then coming to Artwork Creative, the goal of my business, while the product is wildly different, has not changed. So my ideal client for the Disney business was women, because most moms are the people who are planning their business. Still serve women right now. That ain't changed. I like helping women. Next, making people have better experiences still hasn't changed. So then it was Disneyland, now it's with Instagram and marketing. That ain't changed. Teaching people has not changed. It's rather me writing about Disney blogs, teaching them about the history of Pirates of the Caribbean, versus me talking about marketing on Instagram. Ain't much changed. It's just the way that I present it is different. It's still feeding the thing that is permanent, the thing that is my goal, the thing that is my driving factor, my motivation, my inspiration. That is something that's permanent in me. The way that it presents in the world is not. So me getting stuck on creating the Women's Academy of Instagram Mastery and thinking that that's going to be that it's just done, I can't have that. And anyone that's been in Women's Academy since the beginning, y'all know that I do it different each and every time, because I'm making it better and better and better and better based on what people are telling me. If I'm stuck in this mindset of it is this, it is going to be this, and it will forever be this, I can't make it better for you guys. Like, I can't improve upon it. I can't make it as big as I want to make it if I'm thinking that it has to be one way or another. So all that to say, create your prices, your products, your vision, your business with an idea of creativity. So Artwork Creative, y'all know I'm all about creativity. Use it from a place of creativity, of ever changing, because we as people are ever changing. Our minds are changing, our thoughts are changing, our environments are changing. Just the way we want to show up changes. So if you get stuck into this idea of I have to be this because this is what I've been this whole time, one, it's not serving you. It's making you put yourself into a box that you don't even want to be in anymore. And then it's going to show up to your audience. People are going to, you can feel vibes that someone is kind of like resentful of their brand, or they don't believe in it 100%. So when I sell Women's Academy, I'm just talking to people about stuff that I love. Like me talking about Instagram and marketing and creating systems, creating content calendars, creating strategies. I love to do that. Like I could talk about that in my sleep. if I was still talking about Disneyland stuff, yes, I love Disneyland, but it's not fulfilling me. Me talking about the same rides over and over is not something that's going to enhance someone's mindset, not going to enhance like their vision of their life. It's not going to help people get their dreams off the ground. So thinking of things in bigger terms of not being stuck in a bubble will definitely help you. I talked about this a lot longer than I wanted to, but I just want to make one more point. This also goes into when you are thinking about changing something. So whether you are in business and you want to grow, or you're not in business yet, you're still like working a 9-to-5, or I don't even know if they're called 9-to-5s anymore with the way business works right now, but you know what I mean. You have like a job, like you're working for someone. Even in that, there are different things that you can start thinking about to just assess if you're in a state of permanence. So some people who come to me who want to, like, say for instance, you want to apply to the Women's Academy, but you have questions about how much time it's going to take, how much money it's going to cost, what the result is going to be. All of these are valid questions. Not to say they're not valid. But in terms of time's going to pass either way. And sometimes people say, oh, well, I'll figure this out on my own, or let me try this first. Let me do this first, and then I'll come back. Cool. Do what you want with your time. But my thing is, if you could have figured it out, you would have figured it out by now. If Googling and piecing things together and hoping for the best is what you want to do, I can't tell you not to. I would prefer that you didn't, because that's what I did for my first 3 years, and it sucked. And it took 3 years. Like, if I can teach you something in 6 modules in an 8-week program that I give you access to for a year, take it, sis. Anyway, and then thinking about like, I don't have enough money to do this. I was talking to my coach about this the other day too, because I was telling her how I've been like trying to save more money. I've been more mindful of my money. I've been like investing in different things. And she was like, it's because you're coming at it with a kingpin mindset, or queen pin, whatever you want to call it. You're coming at it as if I need this. This is something that I want. And because you are putting out that vibration of I need, I want, this is solid, this is done, I want this, you're not giving the universe, like God, like you're not giving anyone around you an excuse not to give it to you. I want it. I'm going to go get it. Whether I have to go live, whether I have to post, whether I need to hire a coach, I need to hire a virtual assistant, I need to get another course to learn about what it is that I want to do. I put the intention of what I want out there, and then it presents itself. So for instance, using myself as an example, last year was like my growth year. I was like, I want to network more. I want to meet more people. I want to actually create this course. Like, I want to put it all together. Boom, boom, boom. Said I want to make a course. Danielle Leslie comes out with Course from Scratch. It was in my inbox. I was like, yes, boom, buy. Want that. Next, when I created the course, I was like, okay, now how do I get this in more hands of more people? How do I present it? How do I structure this business internally so I'm not going crazy? I'm listening to Mind Your Business podcast with James Wedmore, and my coach, who was not my coach at the time, Kimberly McCarter, comes on, and I was like, who is this lady? Let me find her on Instagram. DM'd her instantly, was like, how can I work with you? And she knows I didn't go through her application process. I said, I want you. How can I have you? I need you. She let me sign in. I don't even know if she was opening spots in her coaching program, but I slid right in there. Next, when I met Kim's coach is James Wedmore. I don't know if y'all know who James Wedmore is, but I love James Wedmore. I listen to him every morning. Mind Your Business podcast. If you're not listening to it, please listen to it. I've been listening to that podcast for maybe 4 years now. James has this program called Business by Design. I was always like, I'm going to be in Business by Design one day. I'll get it when I get it. I'll get it when I get it. It's not important. When I hired Kim, I put it on my calendar. June 2020, when Business by Design opens, because I was on the wait list. That's how you put things in action. On the wait list, I was like, I'm getting into Business by Design next year. I'm going to have Kim. I'm going to have James. I'm going to have my spirituality coach, which I also have now. And I'm going to have my product. I'm going to have the Women's Academy. I'm going to be balling out. All of these things came into play because I did not let my circumstances of me not having a course, me not knowing which direction I want to go in with Artwork Creative, didn't let those stop me. I was like, I'm going to be as creative as possible. I'm going to say this is what I want to do. How it comes to me is how it comes to me. It just happened to come into that order. So don't think that your circumstances that you're coming from now, whether you have what you want already, whether you want more, don't think that it's like the end all be all. There will be opportunities that come just because of the simple fact that you want something else. So that was my last point. I will see you guys later. I see LJ in here. I see Tam. I see Bobby. Hey, y'all. I hope I wave to everybody. But I will see you guys tomorrow with something else. This was just something that came to mind that I wanted to talk about. Don't know what I'm talking about tomorrow yet, but reminders: Women's Academy of Instagram Mastery applications are open. 2 of my people who have taken spots already are in here. Those will be open until July 13th. July 13th is also the last day that you can watch the Instagram Engagement Booster Masterclass. All of these links are in my bio. I have to go now because I have a meeting in 4 minutes. Meeting is with Stuck Designs. If you do not follow Stuck Designs, please follow them. Our t-shirts are selling out, so especially if you wear a medium, go get your t-shirt now, because I don't even know if they're still there. Yeah, I think those are my things. But on your calendar for next week, on 7/7 Tuesday, it is Blackout Tuesday, I am going to begin an Instagram live series. So this is me going live, just talking about what I want to talk about. That series is going to be very purposeful, so I'll be sending more information about that this weekend. If you are on my email list, then you'll get the email. If you're not, just go sign up for the masterclass. You'll be on the email list, even if you don't want to watch it. Yeah, that's it. All right. I will be back tomorrow to talk about whatever else is on my mind. All right. Bye, guys.